All right, and we're live. Good. I think for this screen in particular, I think I prefer no background. I feel like this is nicer. Lou, how's it going, man? How you doing? Is the music really quiet? Is it just me? I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Queen, no worries. Where are you up to now, Queen? Bershan, Havenly, how's it going? SR. Have I seen you before? I don't know. Maybe? 11:14. Okay, so you're not too far. Oh, how's it going, man? Milos, how's it going? R-E... Okay, thanks, Queen. Appreciate you popping by. Redo. No, R-E-D. R-E consonant. A. Ah, fuck. Relay. Close. Wrongs, Luvion, Kami, how's it going? You can't see yourself on stream? Excuse me? Insane XP. What is... Jesus Christ, Zaza's at almost 400 already? God damn. Lucius, how's it going, man? How you doing? Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. Sar. Gale. Sugar. Did you figure out the plan for streams? Yes. It's just gonna be what it originally was, I guess. Fuck it. Dr. Z, how's it going? Pushkar, how's it going, man? How you doing? Mend. Stitch. Patch. Gale, Gust, Arts, Sugar, Darn, Star, Blow, Oatmeal, Blast, just stream. Yeah, exactly. Watch stream. We have come a long way, Mr. Full. We've come a long way. Mend, Stitch, Patch. There's gotta be one more. Last Rats, Fortune, Star, Blow, Oatmeal, Gust, Arts? Fuck. No, we'll stream tomorrow, Pushkar. We'll stream tomorrow, and then the ending will be like next Saturday, I guess. Fuck it, and then we can start the side stories and stuff on Sunday. It's fine. Fool, how's it going, man? How you doing? Exactly, Hope. Yep. I'm not gonna say like the last two streams need to be together. Nothing needs to happen. You're okay. Jefferson, how's it going? Fuck me, what is this? I don't know. Okay, Gale, Gust, Blow, Blast. Ending in a week, yep. Rats, Arts, Star, Sar. What are these called? When you just flip the letters around? Nightwalker, how's it going? And anagrams, that's it. Yep. Drummer, this is third last one for the main story, and then we obviously have some side stories after, so not long. Not long now. Patch, stitch, mend. You'll be so hooked you'll keep reading. Fuck. Hey, if I what's the worst case scenario? I have to take off work Monday? Alright, well shit happens, you know. Fortune? Does anyone know how? What would it be? Okay, oatmeal, sugar, mend, stitch. Doom, how's it going? Mend, stitch, patch. Darn, sugar. Justin, how's it going? Darn? Is it darn? What is? I've never heard. What? Darn. Darn. Mend. What? I never knew that. Fortune, oatmeal, rainbow. Fortune cookie, oatmeal cookie. What is a rainbow cookie? Excuse me? Wait, I'm the mind. Lexicon. My mask. Sustain, keep. No. Do perfect run last two streams together next weekend. You think so, Salsa? Okay, well, maybe we do that. Maybe we do that instead. Okay, we'll take a vote. We'll take a vote. It's fine. Once we're like an hour in or something, so more people are here, we'll do a vote. If that's the case, we'll do it that way. That's fine. Significance, significant, big, keep, sustain, keep, retain, sustain, preserve. Yay! What if you just marathon Lord of the Mysteries till the end? Yeah, I would just, have to, 40 chapters? No big deal. Yeah, all good, you know? All in a day's work, for real, you know? Yeah, no, thank you. That's good. Good. Man, running through these today. When taken. Trust, take Monday off. No one likes Monday. I don't think it's that. I don't think anyone has a problem with the day Monday. I think the problem is having to go to work or school after time off, bro. Quantum, how's it going, man? 11-hour stream. That's all it takes. Yeah. If I really wanted to, I could. Yeah, probably. Do I want to? A little bit. Oh. Okay. Okay. What are we thinking? What is that? A flag? On their helmet? I've never seen. It can't be right. I've never seen that flag. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go with Brazil, cause excuse me. Where's my map, bro? Hello. Thank you. Wow, Brazil's big, bro. Sao Paulo, I guess. It was recent, like 2016. Rio. That's close. Volume 8 is one where you really can't stop them. Yeah, people did mention. Okay. Okay, so this is definitely France. This is early. So I'm thinking like Paris in like 1910. 11, sure. Paris 1910. Oh, I would have had it. You take off a point for 1 year off is crazy work, bro. Come on. That's the dome in Vegas? Oh, no, sorry. I think, isn't there a dome like this in Melbourne? Am I crazy? Am I making that up? That looks like it would probably say like urgency or something. So definitely English speaking country, I think. I'm gonna trust my gut. I'm gonna go with Melbourne. It might be another country. It might be another city. It might be like Sydney or something. I don't know. We'll go with Melbourne. Or it could be Canberra as well. I don't know. 19. Oh, South Africa. Yes. Oh, you would know this. This sphere thingamajig. Is it in Sydney or is it in Melbourne? Hold on. You would know this. I hope. Where is this? I feel like early 90s, late 80s looks like accurate for this time frame. Wait, do you know? Sydney? Okay, thank you. I was gonna go with Melbourne. Fuck. If it's Canberra, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. 87 is fine. Okay, maybe that's a little bit on me, because I'm... Oh, Luvia, no. Oh, god damn. That was just a stand-in. What chapter do I need to go till? Hold on. I didn't, I just chose it because it had 69 in it. I can't... what was it? 70? Yeah, sure, 70's fine. 70's good. $70 or $73? Okay, I'll put 70 for now. If I feel good, we'll go. If I feel good, we'll go to 73. But for now, we'll put it at 70. If I feel okay, we'll go to. Australia has a glass pyramid. No, they have a sphere too. I'm not crazy. I feel like Australia has one of these for sure. 74 onwards is an arc. I see. Okay. Okay. This is. Despite the fact that it says US, I know certainly this is not the US. Excuse me? Is this a military base? What the fuck? Who the fuck would use these kind of planes? What? How much do I need to do? I don't know. I can't read no. What the fuck? Why is my... What the fuck is happening with my mouse? Excuse me? Okay, this side is actually driving me insane today. Bro, I don't... Oh, I think that's a Bangladesh flag? Oh, Romero isn't here. Does anyone else know? Isn't green and red their thing? Am I crazy? Is that not Bangladesh? Does anyone know? Bangladesh? Okay, it is. Okay. Alright. Yes. Where is Bang? I know it's around India. I don't know where. This is like Russian territory. Excuse me? Am I? Oh, up. Okay, never mind. Wow, Bangladesh is really tiny, eh? This is the biggest city I can find. Just hit up my homeboy and he said it's in what the fuck is Brisbane? I've never even heard of that. What? Brisbane sphere. Oh, okay. I think. Oh yeah, you are right. It is in Brisbane. Okay, thank you. Legend says Merlin since Australia has a glass pyramid. They might have a glass pyramid too. Okay, I don't know. This seems recent. I wouldn't say. I don't know, like 2010. I don't know. Camera quality seems good. Oh, it was Bangladesh. Let's go. 2024. Wow. Okay. Okay. 2020 plus? Okay, my bad. Damn. We do in fact have that. No, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, it's a, okay, it's a circus. I don't know what, Anyone have any guesses on this language? No, this can't be German, I don't think. I don't think it's German. You guys you all think it's Germany? Well, 2 people, I guess. 3? You guys think this is Germany? I don't think so. I mean, not German. Like, I don't think this is German. I know what. Yeah, exactly. Norwegian, Dutch. I could maybe go for as well. I don't think this looks like. Yeah, Dutch. I could believe. Yeah. Because like, I'll go with I'll go with Netherlands. I think that's better. Adam, how's it going, man? 19. We'll go with 1910 because it looks like it'd be not during World War One. 60. Why do you not have a colored camera in 64? What do you mean? 0 for fucking year. Piss right off, you bitch. What do we get? 710 out of a possible 1,000. That was amazing. Okay. All right. Let's. We are late. Let's go. All right. Let's start reading. Why is my fucking? Oh my god, my mouse is like twitching in and out. I'm gonna have to get a new mouse. Fuck. Excuse me. 1363. My dad studied Dutch and randomly throws into sentences. Ah, nice. Treatment plan. Oh, because he fixed his. Oh, because it was Benson's wedding. That's where we ended off. Okay, perfect. So he fixed his like humanity issues. Now he's gonna get some counseling from Miss Justice. Okay, got it. Okay, it's been a little bit since I read. Okay, it just takes me a little bit to catch up. I'm old. Shut up. Da, 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 da. By the way, Cuttlefish revealed that the air tube ability of Sequence 7 is an application of the grafting ability from Sequence 1. Ow. What? No, okay, sounds good. See you soon, Hope. I like the music. Thank you. Okay, on the veranda, covered by the autumn sun, Audrey wore a refreshing vacation straw hat and sat at the lawn chair as she leisurely flipped through a fashion magazine. There were exquisite pastries and a cup of black tea made from tea leaves from her family manor and on the round table beside her. Suddenly, she looked up at the edge of the veranda and saw Gehrman walking over in a black trench coat and silk top hat. Audrey turned her head and glanced at her maid Annie and realized that she, like the servants around her, ignored the stranger who had appeared out of nowhere. At the same time, Audrey noticed that the surroundings seemed to darken a little. She stood up, lifting the corners of her skirt as she curtsied. During this process, she had originally planned on seriously discussing the matters between the psychology alchemist and Mr. Wrath, but on second thought, she smiled again and said she said in that infectious and brisk tone, "Mr. World, are you here to seek psychological counseling or to deal with Mr. Wrath's problem?" If it was just the former, Audrey believed that the world would let her meet him above the grey fog. That'd be more convenient and faster. Therefore, this angel was definitely here under Mr. Fool's instructions. At the same time, she acutely sensed that Mr. World's emotions were mixed. He was satisfied and happy, yet depressed and sad. As Gehrman Sparrow's main doctor, this situation wasn't rare. It often meant that he needed a certain degree of counseling or comfort. "Both," Klein said as he pulled over a chair. "Do you want black tea or coffee?" Audrey hadn't taken the initiative to investigate Mr. World. She had met Dwayne many times before. She had attended meetings, banquets, and dances together. Under the keen observation of a spectator, many details weren't secrets. For example, Audrey knew that when Dwayne was Gehrman, he preferred food that was sweet with a little sourness. "No worries, Amnesiac. Appreciate you popping by, buddy." He liked to drink coffee with sugar without milk. For black tea, he loved having lemon slices, and of all the pastries, his first choice was cream pastries. He loved foie gras, roasted chicken skin, and loved ribeye steaks more than beef tenderloins. His love for desi pie far exceeded everything else. In addition, Audrey was undoubtedly certain that the other party was a spice enthusiast. He had high expectations of condiments, and his preferences in this aspect were inclined towards that of Desi Bay. Due to these details, Audrey believed that it would be very rude to not invite Mr. World to enjoy the pastries on the table, and the beverage of choice to match these snacks would undoubtedly be either black tea or a coffee. Black tea, Klein said after some thought. Audrey's relaxed and amiable attitude made him feel more at ease. He felt that this state would be more beneficial for the subsequent placating. Since that was the case, it would definitely be better for him to enjoy the pastries while receiving psychological treatment. Give me another cup of black tea and add a lemon slice. Solovq, I want to be really clear. I'm not recommending you to do a fucking thing, but there shouldn't be a maximum. Are you doing it on thing? Okay. Annie was surprised by this instruction, finding everything reasonable. She turned around and walked to the veranda's entrance, giving instruction to the servant standing there. "Oh, yeah, I guess. Let me change it to something else. Let's just go with Liza P for now. I don't actually know what to use right now, so we'll just go with Liza P. Metatronus, we will be reading COI, but it'll be after, we're going to read a couple of things in between. But yeah, we are going to read COI. Feel alright. Audrey wasn't in a rush to begin the treatment, nor did she ask Mr. World why he was in a complicated mood. She smiled as she carefully introduced the local products of the manor. She made a comparison between Dantus's Magar Manor and naturally informed him of the present situation regarding his butler and servants. Yeah, Zaza. Some stayed in the manor and continued their previous work. With Mager Manor's production, it was perfectly fine sustaining them. There were even more surpluses that could be converted to funds to repair the house and be donated to charity organizations. Audrey only sent an accountant, an assistant butler, and a staff member from the foundation to do a check on them. Some felt that without a true employer, they couldn't play their role to their fullest potential. They felt ashamed of the salary they received and chose to resign and look for work. Some even developed an interest in charity work and found a calling to life and joined one of the foundations under Audrey. When listening, occasionally, Klein raised a question as though he was chatting with a friend. After watching him eat a piece of cake, Audrey's eyes darted around. She said with a smile, "Food isn't a necessity for an angel, right?" "Yeah, it's just a hobby," Klein answered. "It can be used to maintain one's humanity." "Maintain one's humanity," Audrey ruminated. "This is to resist the godhood within you? Your mental problems are..." "Exactly," Klein said. "You should have experienced it. Every Beyonder who has obtained godhood will experience it in some way. The difference is in the quantity." "I occasionally dream of a ball of light that illuminated the entire world. Occasionally. I would hear an indescribable sound and would see a blurry, strange, illusory ocean that seemed to contain many conflicting thoughts. I'm certain that it wasn't an illusion, but it also felt so real. Well, I occasionally dream of a huge cross, and I heard someone praying softly, but I couldn't tell the specifics. The second is likely from the Sephira, Chaos Sea, and the indirect corruption from within. The third is Adam, beginning to exert influence on Beyonders of his pathway. The first is the primordial one awakening in the ancient sun god's body. The ancient God Almighty? Klein thought for a moment before saying, the original creator created all living beings and split into various characteristics. This is the source of being extraordinary. Therefore, every one of us has godhood in our bodies. They have the original creator's will. The more characteristics gathered, the more he will awaken and replace us. He used the most common and most ambiguous method to explain the root of the problem. This had been discussed to a certain extent at the Tarot Club, so Audrey couldn't find it difficult to understand, as she thoughtfully said. That's why one needs to use their humanity to resist godhood, and at the same time use anchors? Yes. The light you dream of, the indescribable sounds you hear, and the illusory ocean that you see are all visions of corruption. And the gigantic cross and prayers sound like they're the result of Adam, and the influence he has on Beyonders of the same pathway. Audrey subconsciously sat up and looked around. She didn't seem afraid at all. Gehrman actually said the name of he who must not be named. Don't worry. He can't hear me with... What? Don't worry, he can't hear me with me by your side. That sentence makes no sense, but whatever. Audrey retracted her gaze and didn't hide her surprise. You're already a sequence 1? That's too fast. He just became an angel less than a little over a half a year ago. Klein answered frankly, more like a king of angels. So, as much as I would appreciate that, dude, again, you really don't have to. Listen. I will read to set. I can't finish the book today, guys. I can't read 30 chapters. I'm gonna be here for 11 hours. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Are you nuts? No. Audrey was silent for a few seconds. She pursed her lips and said with a vexed smile, I nearly had a psychological problem just now. Klein chuckled. To me, becoming a king of angels isn't necessarily even a good thing. Yes, high sequence Beyonders with the spectator pathway have to pay particular attention to their mental state. To other pathways, the enhancement of godhood and the worsening corruption is rather obvious. This isn't the case for a spectator. You have to constantly inspect and check yourself. Any tiny changes to one's personality and their understanding of things should be traced back to the source. It must be confirmed that there are no problems and that the differences can only be considered a normal change. Otherwise, you'll unknowingly become another person who can coldly kill those who you originally wanted to protect. It's not easy for Beyonders of the Spectator pathway to go crazy, but it's also the easiest for them to go crazy. I understand, Audrey replied. She then continued, your mental state is unstable and you have a psychological problem. Is it because you became a king of angels so quickly? Yes, Klein said as he drank a mouthful of tea. The will that doesn't belong to me within me has mostly awakened. I can only barely suppress it and maintain some basic level of stability. After the other party finished speaking, she revealed a comforting smile and said, I roughly understand your situation. The initial treatment plan is divided into 2 steps. I'll first enter your mind world and awaken the memories related to your humanity. Oh, it doesn't include the kind that will make you so miserable that you'll wish to give up. Then, when your godhood reacts, I'll placate, hypnotism, and use other powers to reduce the corruption and the negative effects it brings to help you suppress it. Okay, Klein said. He decided to use his unique trait of maintaining lucidity in the dream world and mind world and first gather up memories related to the Fool before grafting them to the worms of spirit above the grey fog. Then she used, at that moment, Audrey got her maid Annie to bring over a white scarf. She then used the thin scarf to cover her eyes and ears. Klein watched the scene in puzzlement as he waited for Miss Justice to explain. This is a hypnotism that allows me to seal my spirit body's perception. This way, even if I enter your mind world, I won't be able to see or hear these awakened memories. Of course, I'll use my intuition, otherwise I wouldn't be able to find your island of consciousness, and I wouldn't be able to sense the changes in your godhood. I could have just hypnotized you, but you're a king of angels. I'm worried that I'll be affected by your consciousness, so I'm using this symbolic ritual to achieve the state of being hypnotized and strengthen the effects. She calmly explained, calming Klein's mood without him realizing it. He gently nodded and said, All right, let's begin. Eh? What is that? Jesus Christ, I love you. Oh my god, dude. Thank you, dude. Third said I'd be thank you. Oh god. What is the travel ban you're talking about, Dr. Z? What's going on? Okay, hold on. After opening the door to the body of heart and mind, Klein carefully extracted the memories related to the Fool and gathered them together and grafted them above the grey fog. Following that, he saw the blonde-haired Audrey, who had a light white scarf covering her eyes, appear on the ancient stone steps. Step by step, she landed on his mind island via the Sea of Collective Subconscious. After some hesitation, Klein no longer allowed his consciousness to stay high in the sky. He gave up the corresponding control and allowed them to return and fuse together. If he didn't do that, he would maintain absolute rationality in the subsequent treatment, making him unable to be moved by all kinds of memories. Okay, sounds good, Dr. Z. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about our bet. If you're free after stream, we'll talk about it on Discord. The bet you wanted to make? I think I figured out a way to make it kind of fair, I think. I said do something when someone pops. There'll be a pop-up on screen with their name, like super chat. Their name and oh. I'm. You think there's a way to do that? Maybe. Maybe there is. I will see if that's a thing. Maybe there is. I will see. Oh, you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna get someone else to make some custom like emotes for Discord, and maybe we can also use a couple here if you guys wanted to. I mean, I don't think we can add any more emotes. I think we're peaked out right now, but all the same. There. Yeah, exactly, Zaza. That's just the regular one it allows. I'll try to see if there's another way for me to. Yeah, maybe I just put sponsored by Solovku at this point. I don't know. Yeah, like just get a. After some hesitation, Klein no longer allowed his consciousness to stay high in the sky. He gave up the corresponding control and allowed them to return and fuse together. If he didn't do that, he would maintain absolute. What the fuck me? He would maintain absolute rationality in the subsequent treatment, making him unable to be moved by all kinds of memories and lose the possibility of strengthening his humanity. This meant that Audrey's treatment was destined to fail from the start. After arriving in the Mind Island that resembled a dream, Audrey stopped and spread open her arms. She recalled her parents' love for her, the excitement she felt when she became a Beyonder, and the joy she felt after helping others. This was a method of awakening Gehrman's memories related to his humanity, a Beyonder manifestation of empathy. Scenes that were worth cherishing are those hiding deep within, flashed across Audrey's mind one after another. Beneath her feet, the surface of the island that represented Klein's mind, firefly-like light, seeped out from the soil. Every point of light presented a different scene. A kid taking a stride forward with his short legs, receiving an ice cream. A student secretly reading novels and comics under the cover of a textbook. A teenager sitting in front of his computer and playing games with full focus, hearing the sound of a key suddenly being inserted into a keyhole. He jumped up and performed a forced shutdown on his computer. Rushing back to his room, happy that his actions weren't discovered, he had a bounce in his step. Going to the living room, he asked his mother for pocket money before appearing beside his father to casually ask a question about his studies. I assume these are all Klein's memories from before he transmigrated, I guess? A young adult and his companions pushing a bashful friend to the corridor, right up to the person he had a crush on, and then turning around and laughing hysterically. A young adult with some hint of adolescence to him stealing a glance downstairs, watching a figure leave but unable to open his mouth, no matter what. An employee with a slightly protruding belly waving his hand impatiently while he returned home for his holidays. After seeing his parents not serve him food or set up blind dates for him, he sees his parents' white hair and loses himself in thought. A scholarly-looking man with his brother and sister moving out when they saw the dirt and dust on each other's face, laughing. Klein sat at the round table of the veranda, one hand holding his top hat and the other hanging in midair as though he wanted to cover his face. 2 transparent drops of water slowly slid past the sides of his nose bridge and dripped into the void. Klein closed his eyes, his expression soft and pained. In his mind island, Audrey seemed to have transformed into a whirlpool of emotions as she pulled together similar memories. After the entire island was covered in firefly-like points of light, a faint grey fog emerged. In the fog, there was a door of light that was dyed bluish-black, formed from illusory and brilliant spherical light. The main body of each light was composed of transparent ringed or starlight-like worms. They embraced each other and intertwined like mythical creatures. The Door of Light looked a little odd at first glance, but if one looked closely, they would discover that its surroundings were dark. It was as though it was wearing a black hooded robe. Thus, on a whole, it looked like an unknown, mysterious person under a robe. In the next second, a slippery, illusory tentacle appeared under the deep robe of the mysterious person. At that moment, although Audrey's consciousness couldn't see or hear a thing, her spiritual intuition gave her a strong sense of danger. She felt a sea consisting of corruption about to drown her. No, this isn't an illusion. She believed if she continued things to develop like this, she would get infected by a mental illness or even go crazy on the spot. Audrey was just about to placate herself with all her might, weakening the corruption ahead of her, when the firefly-like light dots floating above the island rapidly gathered. They illuminated the grayish-white fog, diluting the darkness around the strange door of light, making the tentacles covered in mysterious patterns. This was also the reason why Klein could receive psychological treatment, but only after barely suppressing the awakening Celestial Worthy's presence. This made Audrey sense the weakening of the danger as she quickly did a psychoanalysis. She then immediately placated the corruption, performing a true act of hypnosis. After repeating it over and over, Audrey took an unknown amount of time before she finally managed to obtain the initial results she expected. She then left Gehrman's mind island and returned to her body. This treatment was difficult, and she didn't use a virtual persona, and directly used her body of heart and mind. After sensing the end of the treatment, Klein raised his hand to wipe his face, allowing the fool's memories grafted above the grey fog to return to him. A few seconds later, Audrey removed the white scarf around her eyes. Snapping herself out of her hypnosis, she looked at Mr. World and muttered, "Is this the mental problem brought about by godhood? How terrifying." Klein nodded. Yes, every angel has one. The only difference is whether it's serious or very serious. Jesus. Saints have it too. Even low and mid-sequence Beyonders who aren't demigods will have it too, Audrey added. To a lower mid-sequencer, the remnant mental imprint of the former owner of the characteristic is more dangerous, Klein said. This is the cruel law of this world. This is because her powers come from external objects, from characteristics. Audrey nodded. I don't think that it's pessimistic, just like the source of every human life comes from something else. Air, bread, meat, water. When we absorb them, we will absorb their negative effects, accumulating all kinds of problems that will make us sick eventually. But this doesn't mean that we have to resist them or treat them as external objects. Once they're absorbed, they will always be a part of it that belongs to us. I would have donated onto the band username. Dude. That's really good. I'm sorry, McSaley, that's totally on me. Pushkar, I didn't watch I watched Dantedium just a little bit. I used to watch Sunday all the time. What I remember most of from Sunday was his Prison Break series. I don't know if anyone's seen it. Man, I used to love that when I was younger. Then one should have a peace of mind and not have too many repulsive thoughts. It's about resisting it, but also working alongside it, and suppressing it, but also fusing together with it. Roughly like that. After Audrey said that, she laughed. However, this also seemed to imply a negative message. Humans will eventually die, but Beyonders. She didn't finish her sentence, unwilling to agitate the patient opposite her. She switched topics and said, pay another visit and another 2 times this week. I'll be able to stabilize you under normal conditions. Also, you can reminisce about things when you're free, or go somewhere you yearn to go. Klein nodded. What do you have in mind about the rat's suggestion? Do you have any suggestions? Audrey asked. Probably the boys? Hey, I don't think I know them. The boys? I don't know. I don't know who these. I don't know them. Sunday Sky Factory 2. Oh, true. Okay. Sorry, we're getting off topic here. It's like a really cool moment in the series. I really don't want to ruin it, but did anyone ever watch like popular MMOs? Their like Lucky Block series? I used to fucking love that shit, dude. Oh my god. When I was younger. Klein put down his teacup and said, wait, hold on. Where am I? Do you have any suggestions? Klein asked. Strictly speaking, the danger you bring is divided into two categories. One is when you actively or passively involve yourself in certain matters, attracting powerful enemies to your side, implicating your family, relatives, friends, and the innocent. The other is that your very existence allows some factions to target the people you value most, doing so to threaten you. Oh, thanks, Alafq. You didn't have to, dude. Thank you. Seriously, you really don't have to. Zaza, didn't you have it like last time, bro? What do you mean? That easy reacted to Lord of the Mysteries and Oh, did you? Oh, okay, sorry. If you give up on all your current identities in the mysticism world and only be Mr. Fool's believer, and and Miss Hall from now on can no longer taking the initiative to participate in matters related to Beyonders or other matters with unpredictable elements, you can avoid most of the risks of the former and drastically reduce the latter. No, Solovki, nope, no. We're good, man. You know what? Just take the day off. You're good. You're chilling. You know what? We're having a good time. We don't need to worry about it. Really, it's all good. Under such circumstances, with the goddess favoring the Hall family and Mr. Fool's protection provided to you, is enough to deal with a rare instance of danger in ensuring your family's safety. That's why there's no need to split off another identity. Audrey fell silent for a while. She bit her lower lip indiscernibly and asked, "What do I do? What if I want to split off an identity?" As long as you let that identity believe in Mr. Fool. Sal, we're good, man. Just like it's a weekend. We're having like a great time. We're chilling. You know, it's all good. We're having a great time. Don't even worry. Don't even sweat it. We're good. No. We're just. You said you're gonna be chill today, right? You said chill. You said chill. You said you're gonna be chill. No, you said you're gonna be chill. No. As long as what the fuck is going on here? Where am I? As long as you let that identity believe in Mr. Fool, it's not much different from what I said just now. The only difference is that from this point forth, you'll have to stay away from your family and friends and live with another identity. Also, are you really fine with Hermes splitting off an identity for you? Audrey's emotions were disrupted by this question, her eyes flickering. However, splitting identity should be beyond her power of a Sequence 3 Dreamweaver. She definitely wouldn't be able to accomplish it by herself. The corners of Klein's mouth curled up as he asked, "You're able to use that pride mask to enter the Garden of Eden directly?" As Audrey couldn't take the initiative to mention the alchemists, he very directly pointed it out. Audrey nodded, surprised, puzzled. I'm unable to pay the equivalent price, and On one hand, Adam has drifted away from Mr. Fool and nearly killed me. On the other, with the apocalypse approaching, Mr. Fool has prophesied something. When the time comes, he may fall asleep again. As his blessed, I won't be able to escape a similar fate. The payment you need to pay is that when such an anomaly happens, perform certain tasks according to Mr. Fool's instructions and try hard to awaken him. God, old me was fucking dumb for making that. Oh my god, what the fuck was I thinking? I was a fucking idiot, bro. Without giving Miss Justice a chance to digest this sentence, Klein extended his right hand and grabbed a few times at the void ahead of him, pulling out. Wait, hold on. Cause Klein is saying he's gonna fall into a slump. Sorry, no, like on a serious note. What is this? Why is he gonna fall into a slumber? What is the reason for this? He said Mr. Fool's gonna fall into a slumber, and he's saying like, as his blessed, I can't escape that fate, because obviously he's him. But what's the? Why would he fall asleep? Eh? He's very sleepy. Yes, thank you, Milos. Fucking. Just read? Okay. Wait, is it no, and Nightwalker's here too. Alright, without giving Miss Justice a chance to digest the scene, Klein extended his right hand and grabbed at the void in front of him, pulling out a grayish-white mask. Using his status and Audrey's trust in him, he summoned the projection of the mask from the historical void. Excuse me? Klein can just summon stuff that he never even had? He can just be like, oh well, like, Audrey trusts me a lot, and like, I like her, so we can just pull something that she has? Can he just pull out like Saint Selena's ashes then? Can he just like pull... I mean, I know they don't mean anything to him at this point because they're sequence 4, but like, you can just pull out whatever at this point? It's connected to my mind, so no one else can use it, Audrey pointed out. Give me a strand of hair, Klein calmly said. Audrey didn't think too much about it. She plucked out a strand of blonde hair and named it and handed it to Gehrman. Klein took the strand of hair and wrapped it in the eye hole of the mask. Then he held his silk hat in one hand and the grayish-white mask in the other as he stood up. During this process, he mobilized Sephira Castle and deceived the rule. Oh, fuck me, didn't think of that, just... my bad. Klein wore the Pride mask without facing any resistance. Immediately, he saw the human-clothed animals walking up. He had entered the Garden of Eden. Looking at the Black Cathedral in the middle of the city, Klein curled his lips and took out the Staff of Stars and wore his silk top hat over his head. He's like, hey motherfuckers, I'm back, baby! Oh, that was nice. That's like, this is like, at this point, what the fuck is even the point of anything? This motherfucker can just like, oh, you shot me in the heart? Oh, I'm an angel, I don't really need a heart. Oh, you lopped my head off? Oh, I deceived the rules and my neck is actually stronger than obsidian, so you couldn't actually do it. Oh, you ripped my hand off? Oh, well, I deceived the rules and I can actually regrow my arm out again like a lizard. What the fuck is even the point of this? The moment they sensed the intrusion of a stranger, the animals wearing cloaks or exquisite long skirts stirred as they looked at Klein with a desire to attack. Arthur, what did you say? You don't need to witness history to know about it? I mean, I guess kind of true. At that instant, Klein, who was wearing the Pride mask, felt as though he was the enemy of the entire city. He wasn't unfamiliar with the situation in the garden. He knew that the upright animals dressed as humans were in a different aspect of the bestial desires. They were more like conceptual and abstract entities instead of the physical. In other words, they didn't have spirit body threads, so they didn't suffer any physical harm. Otherwise, Klein could have hoisted these animals up, allowing them to sway with the wind. In the next second, with the bear whose suit was about to rip apart taking the lead, the animals in the Garden of Eden either bared their fangs or let out low growls as they surged towards Klein from all directions. Once bitten or hugged by them, one would be corrupted by the corresponding bestial desires. Nagito, how's it going? One could only rely on their willpower or beyond their powers of the spectator pathway to resist. Holy fuck. Actually, head is not fatal for Seer because their body is made of worms each. That, you kill him? Oh, well, I have 5,000 marionettes, motherfucker. I just teleported to one of them. Oh, you killed all of them? I actually have a few worms above the gray fog. Just went up there. Oh, you killed those too? Well, I deceived the rules and actually had one left 50 million years ago, and I just returned to it in the historical void. And you're like, what the fuck am I even reading at this point? Just about the entire Song of Ice and Fire. Oh shit, nice. Okay. In the next second, with the bear whose suit was about to rip taking the lead, the animals in the Garden of Eden either bared their fangs or let out low growls as they surged towards Klein from all directions. Once bitten or hugged by them, one would be corrupted by the corresponding desire. One could only rely on their willpower or beyond their powers of the spectator pathway to resist. Klein, faced with such a situation, who was wearing a top hat, tapped the Staff of the Stars. Without panicking in the slightest, he raised his left hand, spreading his fingers, and closed them. The Garden of Eden formed a Gothic-style architecture and was covered in a layer of gloom, as if a certain curtain had draped over it. The realm of mysteries, the embryonic form of a divine kingdom. Guess how much it cost? Okay, did you buy it from like a local book dealer, Nagito, or okay, give me a little more context, okay, because that's gonna definitely affect the price. Following that, he walked one step forward at a time, like a gentleman, taking an after-meal stroll. Klein sealed off the Garden of Eden to prevent the powerhouses inside from escaping. Oh, he said, motherfucker, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. A Song of Ice and Fire is Game of Thrones. The books. The animals who mimicked humans were by wearing human clothes rushed to his side when they naturally changed directions and embraced each other. The python, with its flickering tongue, devoured a canine creature filled with desire to mate. The strange person with a colorful spider as his face bound a huge red-eyed rat with a web. A violent werewolf bit the languid cat. The brown bear, walking upright, gave the fox with shiny fur a bear hug. These animals that represented bestial desires fused together as they canceled each other out in pairs. You went to a bookstore. $35 equivalent, whatever. I don't know what the fucking Jordanian currency is, or no, not Jordanian, Egyptian currency is. I have no fucking idea. Egyptian naira. 1467. Fuck off. Klein, who had grasped the, wait, hold on. These animals that represented bestial desire fused together as they cancelled each other out in pairs. Klein, who grasped the authority of grafting, slowly walked through them, as though he was inspecting the concepts of humanity and bestial desires. Just like that, he walked up to the 80-meter tall cathedral and stopped. He lifted his head and looked at the skulls embedded in them. Klein's expression didn't change at all. He raised his left hand to press down his hat and walk up the stairs into the cathedral. Thunder, how's it going, man? Long time no see. You alright? He immediately saw a grand and spacious hall with a huge cross and a grayish-white dragon. In front of the cross was a small long table with 5 seats. At this moment, at the end of the table, there was a man in a black wheelchair. His face abnormally pale, his pale yellow eyebrows were long, his hair neatly combed with some wrinkles on his forehead. the leader of the psychology alchemists, Polly Durlow. At the same time, he was also the famous hermit Eric Drake, the king of the Black Throne, Barris Hopkins. Of course, whether he was his main body or an identity, no one knew. Seeing Gehrman, who was wearing a top hat and a black trench coat, walk over slowly in an impressive manner, Durlow clasped the arms rest of his wheelchair. When the other party entered the Garden of Eden, he didn't hesitate to leave this Mind City, but failed. The eyes beneath the pride mask that seemed to move towards his forehead seemed to be mocking him. Durlow quickly placated his emotions. 4 months, man, that's crazy. Thank you, Thunder. Man. That's crazy. There's only like a handful of you that are at 4 months at this point. Man. Like, it still feels crazy to me that I started streaming almost 7 months ago. What? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing still. This light formed a pair of holy wings in front of him. Under the layers of wings, there was a pious person, genuflecting in prayer, an angel. At the same time, an elder with white hair and ordinary looks appeared to the left of Durlow. To his right was a priest with a pale blonde beard, the ancient angel Hermes and the visionary Adam. Klein didn't stop as he continued walking. As he muttered, "I wish for all illusions to disappear." The angel of light Hermes and the visionary Adam instantly dissipated and vanished, leaving behind a single Polly Durlow sitting in his wheelchair. He just used the powers of a dream weaver to weave a few almost realistic images. Once the enemy believed that they were real, they would become real. Although the damage they caused didn't have any physical manifestations, it would make the target die for some reason. Polly had made countless targets die from such fright. Unfortunately, he had now encountered Klein, a king of angels who could maintain his lucidity in dream and possess true vision, and use the power of wishes of a miracle invoker to easily crack the illusion. He's like, "Hey motherfucker, that's a cool power, okay, really cool. Nothing. Garbage. You're fucking nobody." Seeing this, Durlow's eyelids twitched. Without any hesitation, he pushed himself up from the black wheelchair. During this process, his body rapidly expanded, turning into a huge white dragon. This motherfucker is just using the wheelchair as like a front? Dude, what a piece of shit! An incomplete mythical creature form. Compared to a sequence form manipulator, this mythical creature form that Polly exhibited was even larger. Furthermore, there were certain changes to its head, making it closer to a lizard and not a human. It had golden vertical pupils and scales that intertwined with mysterious patterns, making it cold and warped. As the incomplete mythical creature form appeared, all kinds of thoughts, consciousness, desires, and wills swept out like a storm, attacking Klein's mind. A combination of mind deprivation and mental plague, allowing every creature that was affected to experience corruption and go crazy on the spot. To an angel, such attacks were the most sinister because all of them had certain problems with their mental state and they could lose control at any moment. Klein, who was wearing the grayish-white pride mask and top hat, didn't stop walking. He didn't attempt to avoid the plague storm at the mental level. He remained firm and stoic as he took step by step towards Durlow. In the next second, insects crawled out from the back of his hand as clothes expanded and countless indescribable monsters were crawling underneath. Suddenly, Klein lost control and turned into a huge whirlpool of maggots. The vortex extended out, slippery tentacles with strange patterns. In the middle, there was a door of light that was dyed bluish-black. Upon seeing this scene, even in his incomplete mythical creature form, Polly found it difficult to stop his thoughts from coming to a halt. The massive, grayish-white dragon seemed to have become a puppet, its head filled with mush, as its joints were all rusted. He stared at a great existence he shouldn't look at. Above the grey fog, Klein, sitting in the full seat, dispersed the out-of-control projection. That's so dumb. He said, "I wanted you to take me out of control, bro, because you take more damage than I do." It's just like, I don't care. Here's the cool thing. I kill you, you're dead, I win. You kill me, you actually killed an old version of me, and you took more damage than I did, and it was all part of my plan. Neither one kills each other. Well, I'm gonna kill you next. So, like, either way, I win, okay, is the answer. At this point, I feel like I don't even want to know what Amon can do. This motherfucker's just gonna, he can just do everything at this point. This is crazy. If Klein can do this and Klein's like, damn, I really gotta catch up to Amon, what the fuck is he on? After entering the Garden of Eden and pulling out the Staff of the Stars, he had switched places with a projection that the Worm of Spirit inside Sephra Castle had summoned and returned to the ancient palace. He knew clearly that the visionary Adam had gone to the Forsaken Land of the Gods and was attempting to fuse with the true Creator, making it impossible for him to descend with his true body any time in a short and foreseeable future. At most, he would send out one of his other identities, but it would be useless against a king of angels. Against a king of angels. However, Klein still felt that he should be cautious, lest he fall into Adam or Amon's traps. Following that, he summoned himself in the fog of history, wore the pride mask, and held the Staff of the Stars in his hand as he projected himself back into the cathedral of the Garden of Eden. Hey, what do you think about Rosego? 2 half pillars had to work together to kill. How is Sharon a half pillar? What? Oh, and True Creator with Chaos C. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry, I was thinking Sharon. I was like, what? Oh, I see. True Creator. Damn, my guy's actually kind of goated though, what? What? Oh my god, I was right! Oh my god, Rosego is the greatest Beyonder that's ever lived. He knew that Adam had gone to the Forsaken Land of the Gods and was attempting to fuse with the true Creator, making it impossible for him to descend with his true body. At most, he would send out one of his other identities, but it would be useless against a king of angels. However, Klein still felt he should be cautious. Following that, he summoned himself from the fog of history, he wore the pride mask, and held the Staff of the Stars in his hand as he projected himself into the cathedral of the Garden of Eden. Seeing that Durlo had lost most of his rationality and was unable to control himself, Klein didn't control his spirit body threads to turn him into a marionette. He maintained his pace and approached the target. In Durlo's eyes, Gehrman was like death incarnate, approaching him with his own rhythm, but there was no chance to escape. Dude, like this is what the Admiral Hel Ludwell would thought of Azek, as like Azek just comes on the ship and he's like, I fucked up, I'm so sorry. Like this fucking sequence 3 is looking at Klein like, bro, nothing can stop him, he's a force of nature. In the next second, Klein raised the curtain. The incomplete mythical creature that Durlo had transformed into combined with the gigantic cross, as though it was a knotted giant tree. As the grayish-white dragon statue connected to the entirety of the Garden of Eden, turning the city outside the cathedral into an abnormally illusory sea. It wasn't the Chaos Sea, rather the loaning of its strength that had been tempered by Klein and reassembled. At that moment, Gehrman, who had been walking slowly, arrived beside the knotted giant tree, raised his right hand under the vacant yet fearful gaze of Durlo. He lashed out with the Staff of the Stars. This cane that was embedded with many gems hit the target heavily, separating it. Between the sounds of the parts falling to the ground, Durlo's body that had been combined with the huge cross fell to the ground. The leader of the alchemists had died before he could even utter his last words. While waiting for Durlo's characteristic to appear, Klein looked around and chuckled. As expected, Hermes' true goal was to use the faction backing Misjustice to destroy the Garden of Eden and use it to escape from Adam. Arihog's words made him steel his resolve. But he still should have left a few artifacts for me. There's no need to abscond with everything. Could it be that the rabbit should be wearing the greed mask? The psychology alchemist might appear again, but the one controlling it in the shadows is no longer the Twilight Hermit Order, but Hermes himself. Funny thing is that the Dreamweaver guy was a Pirate King, so Gehrman... Oh, true! He is actually Zoro! Oh my god, the Pirate Hunter! Oh, this is true. Okay, I really think... Okay, at this point, I have 3 people that I think are gonna become Angels first in the Tarot Club. Dr. Z, this is for you, okay? I have 3 guesses. Like, I don't know who of these 3. It's either gonna be Audrey, because she's 4, and now Klein is probably gonna give her this 3 characteristic for helping him and stuff. It's 4's, because now she has a 3, 2, and 1 characteristic that the Abraham family has. Who else are they going to give it to? It's going to be her, because she can rise up the ranks faster than anyone else can, because she's already at 4. The highest person they have in the family is like 7, so it's not even close. Or it's Cat Leia, because she's already 3? She's 4? Almost at 3? I don't know. So like it's the girls, except for Gio, of course, because Gio's doing fuck all. Zaza, I'm guessing the first person to become Angel of in the Tarot Club, not including Klein, obviously. Damn, the girls are running the Tarot Club right now. This is crazy work. Alger's doing dick. Retracting his gaze, Klein cast his... Okay, Clownman, we can do that after stream. We can do that after reading today. No problem. Retracting his gaze, Klein cast his gaze at the characteristic that Durlot's body produced. It formed from a thin mist, seeming an unreal grayish-white brain from a dream. He believed that the Garden of Eden was the safest place, so he placed his true body there. All activities in the outside world are just his many different identities? Who would have known that Hermes, who was supposed to be a defensive barrier, had abandoned this place? If a real angel was guarding the Garden of Eden and had fully utilized the uniqueness of this city, I wouldn't be so easily able to deceive the rules and infiltrate it. Klein then randomly made a wish to accelerate the characteristics formation. He snapped his fingers and fulfilled the wish. Following that, he picked up the Dreamweaver characteristic and something that could be used as a supplementary material. He took off the Pride Mask and left the Garden of Eden. As he left, the remaining parts of the city collapsed and merged into the boundless sea of collective subconscious. From that moment on, the legend of the Garden of Eden would emerge in many dreams, eventually drawn out by artists or fabricated into widespread stories. And all of a sudden, the stories would come to a consensus. The Garden of Eden was eventually destroyed. Oh, this is so cute! In essence, Gehrman or Klein became the snake that destroyed the Garden of Eden. He became the devil, like, realistically. Because he infiltrated it. He infiltrated God's domain and just destroyed it. He's the devil. Oh, that's so funny. Returning to the Hall family manor, Klein looked at Misjustice, who was already composing herself, and handed over the Dreamweaver characteristic and the corresponding ingredients and the potion formula. Before Audrey could say anything, he said in a deep voice, "You can go back on your word before officially advancing." Audrey received Mr. World's gift and nodded silently, indicating she would consider it. Wearing the exquisite straw hat, she watched Gehrman turn around and walk to the edge of the veranda, disappearing with each step he took. He took the fruit from under the tree, true. And gave it to a woman! Oh my god, it all fits! Oh my god. After removing his traces and concealing the clues, Klein cleverly used grafting and the uniqueness of Sephra Castle to return to Backland, appearing in front of Gio, the MI9 colonel who was munching on an apple. An apple! A woman eating an apple? Coincidence? Immediately put down the food in her hands as she wiped her mouth with a tissue and stood up. What's the matter? She cautiously didn't address him as Mr. World, nor Gehrman. Klein nodded. Mr. Fool got me to ask you if you wish to obtain the potion formula and characteristic and supplementary ingredients of Sequence 4 Imperative Mage. Gio frowned. What's the price? The apocalypse is coming. Many changes will begin, and Mr. Fool has prophesied some things. When the time comes, it is likely he will enter a period of slumber yet again. As his blessed, I will be unable to escape the same fate. The price you need to pay is that when the situation happens, follow the revelations left behind by Mr. Fool, doing something that may be dangerous or simple. It may be an attempt that takes a while, or just a short moment, so as to awaken Mr. Fool. As a king of angels of the seer pathway, the owner of Sephra Castle, Klein had long been able to make certain levels of prophecies. Recently, he had seen some blurry visions and inspiration. Therefore, without a solid plan, he started putting together various arrangements. Right now, I'm a real charlatan, he lampooned. Before Gio could speak, he added, "You can choose to decline. You are not the only person chosen." Gio believed that Mr. World wouldn't use sarcasm in this matter. She didn't immediately answer. Without the pending apocalypse, she felt it would have been better to reject the offer, as a demigod was a powerful and terrifying being to rule a battlefield and control the fate of others, a creature that possessed godhood, and becoming such a creature wasn't an urgent matter for her. Audrey is Eve, Sasrier is Eve. Audrey is Sasrier? How is Sasrier Eve? Hey? Well, as a Sequence 5 disciplinary paladin, she was able to ensure that she completed most of her missions with her own capabilities. With her salary and additional income, she could maintain a very decent life. If she were to encounter danger, she could obtain sufficient aid from the factions. Therefore, she could make preparations by getting Leymano's travel from her friend. Oh, I see. Oh, Sasser was made from SG's rib. True. Therefore, no matter what, she didn't have to pay a huge price to become a Sequence 4 Beyonder. Besides, it wasn't impossible for her to get the opportunity from MI9. But she had no idea how much longer it would take. Be it Mr. Fool's warning, or the prophecies I gathered using my job, it clearly or vaguely points out the apocalypse is coming. There's only 16 years. Under my present condition, Mom will definitely be able to live for another 16 years. At that time, she won't be too old. Furthermore, Mr. Moon has provided all kinds of medicine to maintain her health. In 16 years, Rio will be a young man at the peak of his career. Fours might already even be a Sequence 3 Beyonder. And I won't be able to help her. She looked at Gehrman and nodded. Okay, you can set up the ritual at any time and make a wish to Mr. Fool. He will fulfill your wish. Klein didn't waste any time as he gave a simple explanation. His Imperative Mage characteristic and formula were all obtained from the New Moon City sacrifice. Of course, he had also bestowed his believers with an artifact, General of the Pupilless Eye, in exchange. General of the Pupilless Eye. I vaguely remember that, but I also kind of don't. After Gio made her decision, she stopped worrying and said Wendell apparently went to Utopia, but strangely, he returned that very night. That's what makes him puzzled and worried. Tell him there's no need to worry about this anymore. All the people of Utopia were buried in a natural disaster. Klein said that and walked into the spirit world. So the ending of Lord of the Mysteries is Klein enters like a state of... he enters like a comatose state? Man, this is all coming so fucking full circle. Everyone at the start was like, oh, Mr. Fool is this great existence who's waking up from a long slumber, and now he's gonna enter a long slumber. Man, it's all coming so full circle. But does that mean there's no fight with Amon? No, there's gotta be. That'd be lame. In the outskirts of Backland, Eastborough, Klein looked at in a cemetery. Klein looked at the niches filled with urns of ashes and didn't look away for a while. After a while, he walked under the tree's shade and pulled out the projection of an adventurer's harmonica as Raynette Tyneker walked out of the void. Without waiting for Miss Messenger to speak, Klein asked, "The various churches are preparing to besiege the Rose School of Thought and are planning to join forces with you. Is there anything I can help you with?" Full circle like the fool in the world? No, full circle like a circle of inevitability. Yes, Hope, yes! I said it before you sent out your message, okay? So I just want to be clear. I got it first. Oh, that's amazing. He had learned of the matter from Leonard and Emlyn. Raynette Tyneker's heads shook. There's nothing for now. Talk after. Locking on. Target. That is to say that with the interference of divination and prophecies and the protection of the outer deities, as well as the kings of angels, the Rose School of Thought demigods aren't easy to find. They need time to employ strategies. Yeah, that makes sense. Even Eridus wouldn't dare spy on them. Perhaps I can summon its historical void projection. Klein thought for a moment and said, if there are items directly related to them, using them as a medium, I can lock onto them. When the time came, he could use Sephira Castle's power to penetrate the shield. All right, Raynette Tyneker said. With nothing left, he planned on letting Miss Messenger return. He then asked, do I need to pay for the summoning this time? His spiritual perception stirred as he fell silent. He took out a gold coin from Sephira Castle. This was one of the 5 gold coins that had been tainted with the Sephira Castle's aura. The payment this time. Klein handed over the coin. Clown-to-clown communication. No need. This time. Raynette's eyes said that... wait. After Raynette's 2 blonde, 2 redhead said that, the remaining 2 didn't say anything. She had powerful perception abilities. In the next second, one of the 2 blonde heads that didn't open its mouth bit the coin. Alright, Klein retracted his hand and smiled. These coins he's had forever. He got these coins in Volume 2. Yeah, I remember, Dr. Z. I remember them. I took note of them because I was like, what? Why is he getting rid of them now? Is he just getting rid of them because these are like his, they're like his possessions, and now he's like, I'm gonna be gone for a long time. I don't really need anything anymore. Curious. All right, Klein retracted his hand and asked, is Miss Sharon and Merrick still in Backland? Yes. Klein informed, Miss Messenger informed Klein of her students' whereabouts. In a house, Merrick sat at a long table, skillfully playing cards with the zombies. Suddenly, Sherlock Moriarty appeared on an empty chair. He put down his hat and took the covered cards from a zombie. Merrick looked up at him. His lips moved, but he didn't utter a word. He let the zombie in charge of the croupier duties continue to hand out the cards. Just like that, Klein joined, played a few hands, winning and losing a few times. In the corner, Sharon, who was wearing a black regal dress, appeared at some point. She held her face with one hand and quietly watched the game. After playing for about 2 hours... Oh, Kameen, how's it going, man? You going to sleep? After playing for 2 hours, Klein stood up and formally bowed to Sharon and Merrick. He then chuckled, put on his hat, and disappeared. Aw, that's so sweet. He literally just came to just spend some time, to just have some fun. Aw, that's so... He deserves it. Good for him. Deep in the spirit world, Klein, who had just finished a course of 3 treatments, appeared outside Calderon City. Let's go, baby! Let's give the goddess what she needs. She gives us what we need. Let's start working to being the fool. At the end of music change, also odds on my alcoholism winning. Odds on your alcoholism winning. 35%? You're 19. Trust me, by the time you're like 25, you'll just... Like, don't get me wrong, you still like drinking, because, you know, you feel nice, but you just don't want to do it the same way. Trust. Ideally, what you want is to drink a lot when you're young, like right now, and then in a couple of years, you just give up drinking because you're like, I don't, you know what, fine. Oh, he's second. Oh, he's coming up, Zaza. As he didn't know what state Amon was in right now, Klein didn't dare delay. After his problems were resolved, he immediately went to Calderon City to obtain the river waters of the River of Eternal Darkness. Yeah, but Dr. Z, at that, like, at his age, the chances of that, like, he's got to drink, like, an inhuman amount. Like, he's 19. He could kind of do whatever. Excuse me? And because it involved a Sephira, he could only vaguely see some visions when using divination or making a prophecy. He couldn't accurately make a judgment. Oh, true, he is also Aussie, so he's got like an extra 30% buff. True. After surveying the area, Clyde raised his hand to summon the projection from a few minutes ago, allowing his true body to return to Sephira Castle. You're 11. Jesus Christ, Sahil, how much are you? Jesus Christ. You were at like 20 like a couple hours ago, no? When you sent that message. What the fuck? Did you start reading after I started? That's crazy work, bro. It's genetic. There's a chance, a slight enzyme abnormality? Oh. His consciousness then shifted to the projection, making it corporeal. Following that, Klein grabbed at the void again and pulled out the Staff of Stars. To be honest, after being able to use most of the powers below Sequence 0 of the Apprentice pathway through Sephira Castle, Klein no longer needed an artifact like the Staff of the Stars. He could basically replicate its abilities without the negative effects. Plus, I come from a family of locally notorious famous drinkers. Nice, nice, nice. Good, good. My family is really weird because like my parents don't drink at all, but like my uncle, I have two uncles, and they're both notorious drinkers. Yeah, locally of course, but yeah, same thing. And so it's like. However, he always felt that an angel still had to possess a close combat weapon because it was possible to fall into a region that nullified powers. In the mysterious world, there was definitely something that could happen, be it the law restrictions from the Arbiter pathway or the effects of a particular outer deity. Under such circumstances, if you had to pick up a hard staff that came with passive effects and directly smashed it in the enemy's head, it would prove useful. As you're from Serbia, Milos. Yeah, I figured. I'm sorry. As the King of Angels of the Seer Pathway, making preparations was all an instinct. After weighing the Staff of the Stars and pressing down on his hat, Klein took out the Golden Bird accessory from Sephira Castle and placed it in his pocket. Then he took a step and entered Calderon City, the divine kingdom of Gregreus. Our name is known around the region due to certain family members, so I've gotten away from some Nice. That's always awesome. Oh my god, are you yes, very much so. Solovki, don't ask him that. He's a child. Don't encourage him. He's a literal child. The first thing that entered his vision was a huge bottomless pit, all sorts of strange buildings circling the deep pit and extended downwards in circles, forming a grand city that was beyond the understanding of ordinary people. Some of the buildings were standalone houses that stood atop pale white stone pillars, while others were huge rectangular coffins. I think mine was 15. Salo, so yeah. Might have been 14, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, it was in that area. I don't know. 14 or 15. There were no windows or doors on the roofs. Some were just tombs with gravestones at the entrance, while others were constructed from all kinds of bones, making them rather messy. The closer to the bottom of the pit, the more intact the buildings. The closer they were to the top, the more collapsed. With just a glance, Klein made a faint greyish-white fog appear around him. He used Sephira Castle to resist the laws of Calderon City, which turned all living beings into the dead. To him, becoming a dead person wasn't a negative effect. He just didn't like that cold feeling. The greyish-white tide that previously has receded. Klein, who was wearing a top hat and trench coat, while carrying the Staff of the Stars, nodded. With one step, he stepped in deep into Calderon City. And the reason I don't drink is... Yeah, I figured that, Zaza. But first time I drink in... I think that one would have been 17. In a video game, of course. I would never do anything that stupid, Salo. That'd be crazy. I'm endangering others. I would never do that. Only in a video game. This time, he used the Marauder Pathway ability to steal the distance of his perception so as to avoid being entangled with dangerous monsters in the city. This wasn't something he was afraid of. The ones he should be more afraid of were the monsters. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't wish to waste time, he wouldn't have minded taking the opportunity to gather a batch of marionettes to make up for the losses caused by Utopia. Apart from this reason, Klein was still cautious about something else. Calderon City was the city of the dead. It was very likely that in the deepest depths of the city flowed the river of eternal darkness. In essence, marionettes were already dead, so once they approached, there was possibility of a mutation. Venturing deeper, one step at a time, Klein had a thought. None of the monsters hidden in this city dared to appear. The aura of Sephira Castle allowed their desire to live overcome their inclinations of madness. The deeper he went, the quieter it became. The strange buildings remained intact, but they seemed dead for years. Even their auras were cold and gloomy. It's the same as looking at a black and white film. I didn't hear my breathing or heartbeat. If I didn't hear my heartbeat or breathing, I would have suspected I was deaf. His intuition told him that that once he got used to this environment, his body and mind would become still and silent. Then he would truly die in the full meaning of the word. The closer he got to the ground, the stronger this feeling became. As he kept stealing the distance, Klein proceeded forward for a long time before finally seeing the bottom of the pit. No, it wasn't the true base of the pit, just a huge black palace that stood in the way. A palace propped up by columns. There were all kinds of bones and different corpse pieces embedded in them. Some parts of the palace were covered in blood. They belonged to different races. So this is like the corpse, a cathedral, but this is like a corpse palace. Klein stared at it for a few seconds. Without any hesitation, he entered through the palace. On both sides of the hall were different types of coffins in different colors. They sat there, silently, as if they had already been weathered by death. As Klein entered, there was a sudden noise coming from inside the coffins, sounding like rusted joint openings. The grayish-white fog around Klein thickened again as all the coffins quietened down. Ignoring them, Klein walked to the depths of the hall. There was a grayish-white staircase descending with a huge stone monument. At the top of the stone monument stood a huge, slender statue that resembled a giant bird made of bronze. Its wings had all kinds of pale white symbols. Pale? The pale disaster? Under the bronze bird statue, the surface of the stone monument was written in text that originated from the language of the dead, forming a few indistinct words. Oh, shit. Even deities cannot escape imprisonment, even in death. Is this a warning to all living beings who come to Calderon City? Not to go down these stairs? It leads to the river of eternal darkness? I think you mean 8060, Zaza, but of course. It leads directly to the river of eternal darkness, Klein thought. From his point of view, this meant that even if a Sequence Zero true deity were to approach the river of eternal darkness, they would be trapped there and unable to escape, and even if they were to die, they would be imprisoned by this abstract river, this Sephira. Although they wouldn't dissipate, they wouldn't escape either. From the looks of it, it looks like the Chaos Sea. Without any Sephiroth protection, merely approaching it would result in a mutation. Even deities, yeah, but I stand above deities, child. He walked past the bronze statue and walked down the staircase. He didn't steal the distance again to prevent himself slamming headfirst into danger. In the dark, silent environment, the golden bird-shaped accessory in front of Klein's chest released a pale white glow, illuminating an area. It was like a tiny lifeboat struggling in the waves of death. After descending for a long time, the aura of Sephira Castle expanded out of the reflex and became extremely thick, like a grayish-white cocoon. At the same time, Klein turned his head slightly and heard a faint, illusory whooshing sound. This seemed to indicate that a dark river was slowly flowing deep underground, not far from him. In the next second, Klein looked down at his feet. At some point in time, there was a dark stream of incorporeal water surging out. Even light couldn't exist on its surface. This is different from what I saw last time, Klein frowned. Back when he came to Calderon City to hunt the Spirit World plunderers, he had caused a certain change, causing large amounts of grayish-white illusory, tidal waters to surge up from the bottom of the pit. The colors that he saw the two times were different. Just as Klein's thoughts raced, at the bottom of the stone staircase, where the dark tide surged over a thin grayish-white, together with the illusory liquid, it expanded into grayish-white liquid that was more mist-like. When the water reached Klein's feet, it shrank back as though it was constantly ebbing up and down. This faint gray fog is a little familiar. So, in order for Klein to become the Lord of Mysteries, Amon would have to go down to a King of Angels again, right? That's the only way that can work? Because Klein needs all three of the characteristics, and he still needs Sephira Castle. So Amon could have 2 or 3 even, or I guess no, 2 characteristics of his pathway, be a King of Angels, but he can't be a god. Yes? Because Klein needs all 3? Be the Lord of Mysteries? I'm trying to think of a way that Amon stays alive at the end of this. Because I feel like he's a little shit. Like, I don't want him to die. I feel like he'd be useful. I feel like even against an outer deity being a King of Angels, he could be enough of a pain in the ass that like an outer deity has to actually spend some time. This grayish-white fog is familiar, Klein thought. After pausing, he continued down. This time, the rising illusory tide drowned him, causing his body to turn light, causing his emotions to turn cold. If not for the protection of the Sephira Castle, Klein suspected that he would passively fuse with the tide. Bold of you to assume that Klein will let Amon... No, I feel like Klein would be like, hey, you little fuck. Because Klein does... I don't think... Klein wants Amon to die. I feel like Amon is useful. When the apocalypse comes, I feel like Amon, because Amon wouldn't side with the outer deities. At the end of the day, he still likes people because he likes fucking around. And if the outer deities came and they killed all the people and stuff, he wouldn't. Well, even if he wouldn't be able to, or even if they didn't kill all the people, they wouldn't let him have his fun. Whereas like Amon's just like a silly little boy, you know. He likes to have fun. So I feel like Klein would be like, no, like I want you to be a king of angels, so that like when the apocalypse comes, you can help us out, because Amon has like an understanding of his pathway that is like so obscene that no one else could even fathom it. At the end of the void, amidst... Wait, hold on. Following that, the grayish-white cocoon rose, bobbing up and down in the water before reaching the end of the staircase. At the end was a void. Amidst the emptiness flowed a straight, wide, illusory, colorless, dark river. Just finally pulled the brownies I made out of the oven? Ah, nice. Bro, he can make Pallas a king of angels. What does he need him on for? Dude, Pallas is really clever. I don't think he understands his pathway even 1/10 that Amon does. I feel like Amon, being who he is, being born as he was, has like again, he was born with the uniqueness of his pathway. Of course he has an inherent understanding of it that no one else could even fucking fathom. He was born with the thing that makes their pathway special. How do you beat that inherent understanding? I feel like Klein would be like, bro. No, that's super. No, Hope. Pallas is based as fuck, okay? Really clever. The one guy who was able to hold out for so long, whatever. But at the end of the day, Amon did win. Wait, where the fuck am I? At the end, no, the river was so blurry that it was difficult to see clearly because its surroundings were covered in a swath of grayish-white like a thin layer of fog. Indeed, Klein muttered. He was no stranger to this kind of fog. He had seen it behind the door in Bansi ruins before. He had seen it in the easternmost end of the Forsaken Land of the Gods, as well as beneath Sephira Castle. Unlike other places, there was a portion of the water of the River of Eternal Darkness that penetrated the grayish-white fog and fused to some extent with the latter, changing colors between dark black and pale white. The river water here kept swirling up and down, like a stream that was running through the illusory darkness. On both sides of the distributory stood huge pale white pillars. They seemed to be supporting something. At this moment, between the pillars on the banks of the distributory, countless blurry figures were pacing back and forth. You think Amon ever truly learned to bake or something? Well... Oh, music. Among them, the most eye-catching one was a seemingly lost figure that would occasionally enter into the depths of the distributory before turning out. Yet, it didn't seem like it could leave the river. It was huge, similar to the stone pillars around it. It had a heavy black robe draped over it. From its side profile, it looked very old. Suddenly, it turned its head to look at Klein. Its face had obvious southern continent characteristics, but it had already rotted out while the white feathers stained with pale yellow oil grew out. Klein knew him. He was Azek's father. The death of the Fourth Epoch, Emperor of the Underworld, Salinger. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's very good. Oh, that's very, very good. That's very good. Death, Salinger, who was pacing around the river of eternal darkness, looked at Klein, enveloped in the grayish-white cocoon. His eyes, that had pale white flames that were about to be extinguished, instantly reflected the golden bird accessory on Klein's chest. In the next second, a deep roar came from his rotting mouth, reverberating above the river, causing the entirety of the city to shake. The distributory that occasionally rose up or plunged down, sometimes dark and sometimes pale white, reached the end of the staircase with the rising of the tides, surging to Klein. During this process, the tide fused with the grayish-white fog, forming a similar color. The grayish-white torrent slammed into Klein's body repeatedly, but failed to destroy the cocoon around him. Death, Salinger's rotting body, took steps to the edge of the distributory, but he couldn't escape no matter what. All he could do was stand there and roar wildly. Klein's gaze swept past him as he looked at the blurry figures loitering around. One of them had already been swept to the center of the distributory by the tide. They couldn't help but sink to the bottom, melting like ice. The remaining ones didn't show any fear as they maintained their blank, lost state, moving back and forth endlessly. At a glance, Klein saw many figures. They were the same person, Azek. This death console seems to have dissociated into multiple selves, constantly pacing between the pale white pillars on both sides. Klein's heart stirred, his right leg turned cold. He lowered his head and saw his pale white hand. The palm penetrated the grayish-white cocoon and grabbed his calf. So there's multiple Azeks here. Are these all of the lives that Azek has lived? Am I just thinking too deeply? I don't know. The owner of the palm floated in the surging torrent like a water ghost, attempting to pull Klein into the water. Its attack could actually ignore Sephira Castle. Sensing Klein's gaze, the pale white palm's owner raised his head to reveal his face. Klein Moretti. The water ghost was Klein Moretti. Oh, that's why he can ignore Sephira Castle, because he's technically the owner of Sephira Castle, so, like, it just kind of cancels itself out. In the next second, Klein's left leg, right shoulder, and left arm were grabbed by different pale white hands, making him feel cold all over as his spirit body seemed to freeze. He couldn't even use all of his powers. It was impossible to resist. The three pale white hands belonging to different figures, while the different blurry figures all had the same face. Klein Moretti's face. Under the pull of the four water ghosts, Klein's body separated from the white cocoon and sank down. His body became colder and colder as his thoughts fell into silence. His vision darkened, and eventually there was only the waves. Above the grey fog, Klein's consciousness returned to his body. Without any hesitation, he extended his right hand and used the power of Sephira Castle to steal an item from the ladder through his connection. A golden beam of light flashed as Klein held the golden-shaped bird. At the same time, he stopped maintaining the projection. The drowning figure disappeared from the flood. By the way, remember what Adam said about the fourth pillar and how Salinger died? No. The words for... Wait. It can ignore the owner of Sephira... It can ignore the aura of Sephira Castle, which means that those figures truly are me. But why would I be trapped in there? 4 figures. 4 souls and death, corresponding to the reality that he had died 4 times and revived. MT, how's it going, man? Are we going to read until 1370? Yes, Zaza. Of course, after becoming an attendant of mysteries, the 4 resurrections had been reset again. Every time I die, regardless of whether I revive or not, I leave an imprint in the river of eternal darkness. I died 4 times, so there are 4 figures wandering the banks of the river of eternal darkness? The river of eternal darkness is a Sephira, as expected, of the symbol of death, repose, destination, endless, endpoint, and darkness. This is what the goddess meant when she pointed out that I'll encounter some different kinds of stranger. If my mental state was unstable, I might have some terrible consequences. Based on this deduction, Klein had a brand new understanding of the Aziks wandering about. They were imprints of death. Mr. Azik has died many times and searching for his memories. He comes back to life, but according to the present situation, although an undying doesn't die, it might leave behind a lot of hidden dangers. Once the number of death reaches a certain level, the true bodies might be attracted to the river of eternal darkness, ending up as one of the figures that wander about for an eternity. Only Salinger's figure is there, meaning that after accommodating the uniqueness, his death imprint becomes unique. Klein's thoughts raced, becoming worried about Mr. Azik's state of survival. Adam said that the 4th pillar is made from combining the City of Calamity and the River of Eternal Darkness. Salinger tried to eat the Red Priest, but he Oh, thank you. Oh, true. Thank you, Hope. Okay, I vaguely remember that now. Okay. There are 2 solutions to resolving this. 1, make Azik's soul whole and make him stop repeating the resurrection process. 2nd, help the goddess become a great old one and gain control of the river of eternal darkness. But not true? But like, in essence, they're one and the same, right? Every life he lives leaves a death imprint. In essence, they're kind of like... perhaps this is another binary choice. When the goddess becomes a great old one, there's no need for her to make use of Azik's soul again. He had entered the depths of the city not to resolve the death imprint of Salinger and destroy him, instead to retrieve the water. Clearly, the tide that flows out of the river doesn't work, it's only an aura. Also, the water has fused with the grey fog that won't do either. It's not pure enough. From the looks of it, only when the distributory turns back into deep and turns into its deep and dark state can I get the water. That greyish-white fog is definitely a solid barrier. Klein made a plan to avoid getting close to the River of Eternal Darkness and not to attract the attention of Death Salinger. He would wait for the distributory's water to recede and turn dark before heading down there, allowing his 4 death imprints to drag his projection to the bottom of the river. During this process, the historical projection would seize the opportunity and use the golden-shaped bird accessory to scoop the water. He would then return his consciousness back to Sephira Castle, and with the powers of theft as well as the close connection between the 2 items, he could take back the accessory. I'm not gonna lie to you, I literally just did that. I was literally just thinking he did that. Because when he got pulled down, I was like, oh, the thing is in his pocket. Now that he's been drowned, it would have filled up naturally. And then Klein just yoinked it back, so it should be full of the water. After considering the finer details, Klein returned to Calderon City and summoned the historical void projection. He repeated the previous process and returned to the stone tablet next to the giant bird, and walked down the steps. The aura of Sephira Castle around him thickened gradually, turning into a cocoon. It didn't take long before Klein arrived at the end of the staircase, saw the river of eternal darkness, the pale white columns, and the countless figures. This time, he wasn't in a hurry. He left the staircase and waited patiently at the same spot for the water to recede. The grayish-white colors faded and the water darkened. You're thinking too literally it's not actual water? The fuck do you mean? Eh? What the fuck do you mean it's not actual... Like, I know it's not like physical water, but in essence it would still fill up all the same, no? Because it's a vessel that can hold it. Money, how's it going, man? Have you been here the whole time? Right now! Klein's figure flashed as he stole the distance and appeared by Salinger's blind spot. Without any hesitation, his body sank to the river, into the river. The pale white hands immediately penetrated the owner of Sephira Castle and grabbed his limbs. It's been okay, sounds good. His 4 death imprints appeared around him, dragging him to the bottom of the river. Klein's head submerged under the dark river water, making his body turn cold. Before he lost his senses, the transparent maggots crawled out of Klein's neck, quickly crawled to the side of the golden bird accessory, clustered around it, and lifted it up, preparing to scoop the water. At that moment, a massive shadow appeared in the swirling, illusory river. If you shove a USB, you won't just fill up. You have to manually fill it. Sure, yeah, okay. The exposed parts were pitch black and rotten with pale yellow pus. The giant bird's eyes seemed to be made of bronze, and layers of illusory doors were hidden within. Gregreus, the ancient death who was opened up by the underworld. In front of Gregreus' eyes, a bronze beam burst out, enveloping the accessory and Klein's projection in a bid to drag them over. After weighing his situation, Klein instantly made a decision and gave up the attempt of scooping the water. His consciousness returned to Sephira Castle and he stole this accessory again. The new oh god. There's danger in the water too. The ancient god, Gregreus, has completely sunk into the river of eternal darkness. If the goddess can truly accommodate the uniqueness of the death pathway, and if Salinger can't use that opportunity to revive, he should also sink into the water like Gregreus, and the death imprint will melt further. Following that, he summoned the projection and returned to the end of Sephira Castle. After waiting for a while, when Death turned around and slowly walked towards the bank, Klein stole the distance and appeared in front of him. Salinger let out a low growl, increasing the flow of the distributory. At the same time, Klein was grabbed by his death imprints and dragged to the bottom of the river. He sensed Gregreus. Like before, Gregreus' bronze eyes lit up. But what enveloped this light wasn't Klein and the accessory, but Salinger. Grafting. Yes, Nightwalker, I remember. Just remind me at the end of the stream, because I will forget. Seizing this opportunity, the Worms of Spirit crawled out from Klein's projection and lifted the bird accessory. The bronze eye of the accessory also released a beam of light, scooping up a tiny portion of the water. In the next moment, Klein's consciousness returned to Sephira Castle, and he retrieved the accessory. Ah, oh, thank God, it's done. As the owner of Sephira Castle, this mission wasn't too difficult. As long as he didn't rationally enter with his main body, he could rely on repeated failures to get experience and figure out the situation. Oh my god, that's what we're doing in Perfect Run 2. He's accumulating experience, trying to get his perfect run. And if it wasn't for the fact that there were 2 deaths in the distributory of the River of Eternal Darkness, one wandering and the other sinking, Klein wouldn't have even failed twice. I assume that's a Gregory House, like from Dr. House reference, I assume? Hope. What the fuck do you mean spoiling it? We're reading it on stream, you dumb bitch. Ooh. After weighing the accessory in his hand, Klein returned to the real world, picked an empty plot of land and set up an altar to hold a sacrificial ritual. With regards to the other secrets held in Calderon City, as well as the loitering figures around the River of Eternal Darkness. Oh, Sid, I really like it, yeah. The main character gives me very Deadpool vibes, which I like. I love Deadpool. I think he's fucking hilarious. Very similar sense of humor, so I like it. I'm only on chapter 10, MT, so it would take you like, I don't know, half an hour. He didn't temporarily have any thoughts on the loitering figures. This was because he still had more important matters, and he also had a key question to ask the goddess. Soon, he held a ritual and allowed the candlelight and materials to fuse together, forming a door of a sacrifice and bestowment. Without any hesitation, Klein placed the accessory into the wind, allowing it to slowly pass through the door. In the next second, he noticed he had been dragged into a dream. In the center of the dreamscape was a gothic palace that seemed to blend with the darkness around. Its details were exquisite, but its colors dim. Klein passed through the bushes of night vanilla and slumber flower before stepping into the palace. In the depths of the hall, Klein passed through the bushes of night vanilla and slumber flowers before stepping into the palace. In the deepest part of the hall, the goddess was sitting on an ancient high-backed chair. She was still wearing the layered black dress that didn't seem complicated. The sparkling spots of on the dress reflected the dome and the walls and the pillars of the light that created a quiet and dreamy starscape. Man, I haven't read TPR. I read TPR at the same time, though I didn't notice some points. Well, I noticed some foreshadowing. Ah, nice. Oh no, I like Nightwalker. It's really good. I can't like recommend it enough. It's really good. Well, I can't recommend it enough. I don't want to glaze it, but so far it's fun. It's definitely a fun read. The sparkling spots on the dress reflected the dome and the walls, and the pillars of the palace created a quiet and dreamy starscape. The goddess, whose face seemed to be covered in layers of fishnet veils, and held a bird-shaped golden accessory and stood up. She walked down the stairs to Klein. "What do you have to ask?" Klein politely took off his hat and bowed. "I want to know if the grayish-white fog that envelops the River of Eternal Darkness has something to do with the old Lord of Mysteries." Although he couldn't see the goddess's face, he felt that she was smiling while looking at him. "Yes. Furthermore, keep song, okay." Yes, furthermore, not only is the River of Eternal Darkness enveloped by the grayish-white fog, but the city behind Bansi Harbor and the entire western continent is enveloped by the same grayish-white fog. Is this a seal? The Evernight goddess nodded. That's right. Apart from Sephiroth Castle and the Chaos Sea, all of the Sephiroth were sealed in the western continent by that Lord of Mysteries. How fucking strong is that guy? He sealed all the Sephiroths? Sephiroths? Excuse me? Bro, you're a great old one. How are you fucking... What? The River of Eternal Darkness, Broodhive, City of Calamity, Tenebrous World, Nation of Disorder, Knowledge Moor, Key of Light have all been sealed in the western continent by the Celestial Worthy? This is too much. It's no wonder that the city behind Bansi Harbor's door is like the former Shanghai. The City of Calamity, affecting that city is the real world as well as Bansi. Then to a certain extent it caused changes? Back when he saw the scene behind the door in Bansi, he suspected it had something to do with the western continent. Furthermore, according to the clue that Bansi was the headquarters of Medici's family, he suspected behind the door was the reflection of a Sephira, the City of Calamity. After a moment of surprise, Klein didn't conceal his feelings as he sighed. The power of the Lord of Mysteries far exceeds my imagination. How could such a great old one who was known as a pillar of the universe silently perish? It wasn't silent. From the clues that were available, he died together with the God Almighty of ancient times. That God Almighty's corpse formed the first blasphemy slate in the Chaos Sea, and beside it was the uniqueness of the Marauder pathway. So he somehow died beside the original creator? But the original creator created the universe. How did he exist? He already existed? In other words, in the middle of the first epoch, the Lord of Mysteries and the God Almighty had a battle that was abnormally intense but didn't cause much of a stir. In the end, they both died? God Almighty. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. The other pill. Oh, I see. Oh, the one of the 5 pathways. Okay, what the ancient sun god was trying to become. Okay. I got it. So, the Lord of Mysteries fought God Almighty, and they both died. This can explain why the ancient sun god had the uniqueness or a grazed uniqueness of the Marauder pathway. When he walked out of the Chaos Sea, it was ripped off the ancient sun god from the Lord of Mysteries. Oh, that makes sense too. Klein asked in puzzlement, why would they want to kill each other? They're both pillars, and they aren't from similar pathways. There shouldn't be any such conflict that can't be resolved. Convergence is an instinct, the goddess said. The higher the level, the stronger the instinct. The Lord of the Mysteries and the God Almighty of ancient times were unable to restrain themselves from converging together to become the embodiment of the entire universe, also the innate instinct of the original creator. Okay, so convergence is basically like, in tiny form, it's the instinct of the creator to try to come back together. The stronger you are, the bigger your gravitational pull, the stronger the the original one's will the original creator's will to come back together, because you're a bigger and bigger part of him. Okay. The crazier one becomes, the stronger one becomes, and beyond cunning, powerful, terrifying, and filled with wisdom, there is such a side to the celestial worthy of heaven and earth? Klein thought for a moment and said, that Lord of Mysteries and God Almighty of ancient times are in essence different sides of the original creator? The goddess's dream projection said in a comforting voice, using the same existence but different personas as an analogy would be more accurate. That's why he naturally has a tendency to be dissociative in a way that cannot be controlled. Once he splits, there will be a strong trend to convergence. In a time more ancient than the era we lived in our past lives, the original sleeping creator had naturally split into multiple personas. They were also in a state of slumber, but they began to use the authority and characteristics they controlled to influence the world. Making many preparations for the true dissociation when the original creator awakened. Hold on, let me just read that in my mind one more time. The original creator was the maker of the universe and also its destroyer. It is both day and night, the symbol of holiness and decadent abyss. It is the amalgamation of all contradicting concepts and symbolism. I see, okay. Here, the most powerful and active ones were the God Almighty and the Lord of Mysteries. The latter had the honorific name in the Western continent. In the early mid-stages of the first epoch, they should have used different methods to grasp the additional Sephiroth. This made their inclination to converge even more intense, making it impossible for them to control themselves and taking action against each other. Oh, so they started trying to take over different Sephiroths, which made them more crazy, which made the instinct to converge even stronger. According to the ancient sun god's research, the pillar of this support is the highest level of stability one can achieve. If a Great Old One exceeds this limit, just accommodating an additional Sephiroth will lead to being controlled by the convergence instinct irresistibly. But no one knows the exact situation of the battle. Even the 7 lights of the spirit world do not know. We know only that from that fateful moment onwards, the 2 Great Old Ones known as the Pillars vanished. As for the other Sephiroths, other than the Chaos Sea and Sephiroth Castle, they were sealed by the Sephiroth Castle's power. That was once the territory ruled by the Lord of Mysteries. So basically the Lord of Mysteries in his dying breath was like, if I can't have them, you can't either. Get fucked, and then died. What a piece of shit. This setup led to a problem. It was that before the reappearance of the Lord of Mysteries and the God Almighty, and before the removal and breaking of the Western Continent seal, no Sequence Zero could become a Great Old One to resist the outer deities. As the apocalypse approaches, this problem will force all true deities to nurture a Lord of Mysteries or God Almighty, and the former Lord of Mysteries and God Almighty are very likely to awaken in their bodies. Therefore, the sealing of the other Sephiroth was done deliberately by the Celestial Worthy, preventing the later Sequence Zero true deities from avoiding this pathway, killing the chances of the birth of a new Lord of Mysteries. Alright, bye Luvion! Appreciate you popping by, buddy. As long as a new Lord of Mysteries is born, he has a high chance of being revived in their body. Isn't this too sinister? From a certain point of view, there's no need to be afraid of others knowing this arrangement. The more entities know, the more chance for a new Lord of Mysteries, so as to prevent them from only having a few years to gain control of their new Sephiroths. This made Klein sigh, as expected of a pillar that can make a genie fall into such a predicament. Then why didn't you support the growth of a Lord of Mysteries in the 4th epoch? He actually knew the answer. As time passed, the original creator's will, and the God Almighty's and the Celestial Worthies' wills have weakened. The closer they got to the apocalypse, the weaker they became. This made those of the future able to resist them better. Did you get it? He sealed them so that future generations will have... Yeah, exactly. He sealed them so that future gods would have no choice but to nurture a new Lord of Mysteries, and he'd be able to sort of revive in their bodies. Yeah, I get it. This could be proven by the fact that Adam had waited until recently to become a visionary. The goddess smiled. Back then, Amon and Bethel were unwilling. All of them wished to make all sorts of preparations, hoping to make the attempt when the apocalypse was approaching. As for Salinger, he planned to use the River of Eternal Darkness to fuse with the Red Priest characteristic to make a brand new Great Old One. He then went mad and wasn't able to resist the desire for convergence with the Twilight and Evernight pathway. Death was also forced into such a thing? On the other hand, the apocalypse was only 1,000 years or so away, and on the other hand, the River of Eternal Darkness had been sealed by the Celestial Worthy, a pillar, preventing him from being able to control it. It's too sinister. Klein inwardly criticized the old Celestial Worthy. At this moment, the goddess's projection continued. The seal on the western continent is weakening with time. The Sephiroths will instinctively or consciously use their symbolism to corrode the uniqueness and the high sequence characteristics that land on them to influence the outside world. The first to seep out was the energy of the River of Eternal Darkness. In the 2nd epoch, it formed a distributary through Gregreus. After that, in the 4th epoch, traces of more Sephiroths began to appear in the northern and southern continents. This is an important factor that behind many anomalies in the 4th epoch. The Sephiroth had indirectly exacted their influence through the seal of the Fourth Epoch. It's no wonder Adam said that my understanding of the Fourth Epoch isn't enough. From the looks of it, Banshee Harbor retained the elven custom of not because it was an elven settlement, but because of other factors. I understand. Is that why you've been trying to help me this entire time? Klein asked. 1370. Decisive. Alright, bye Nagato! The goddess's dream projection replied with a smile. If it's just to nurture a Lord of Mysteries, I should be betting on Amon. At the very least, the chances of him succeeding are much better than yours. The era that was buried in the past is a memory shared between us, but also a critical period in which our humanity was sprouted, born, and nourished. Even if I've had a long life, it remains my fondest memories. You have imprints of it in you, so I am much more willing to help you. The love for the house extends even to the crows perching on its roof. Klein thought of an idiom. At that moment, he recalled the words written in Roselle's diary. Home. In his wistful silence, the projection of the goddess switched to saying, when you're ready, you can go to the main peak of the Hornacis mountain range anytime. Of course, it is your freedom to choose. No one will force you, and no one can either. You either choose to stop at a certain stage and not become a great old one, nor allow the Lord of Mysteries to awaken in you. Then, at the last moment of the apocalypse, you can bring the people and objects you want to protect and wander to other planets in the solar system to avoid the attention of the outer deities and create a new civilization. I've never heard this idiom before, but I think that is so cute. The love for the house extends even to the crows perching on its roof. That's so cute. I've never heard that before, but that's really cute. Klein thought of this problem before. After a moment of silence, he said, I'm not sure if Roselle had said one thing. You can hide for a moment, but you can't hide forever. He was speaking in Jotun with the goddess, so it was hard to translate proverbs. Escaping was just a temporary strategy and couldn't be used in the long term. Although the universe is vast and without an end, the outer deities are clearly more familiar with it than I am. They're also stronger, representing a certain aspect of the universe. It is hard to avoid them. Besides, even if we succeed, peace will only be for a time. Each civilization would be destroyed in less than 1,000 years. When that happens, we won't even have the chance to become great old ones. This was because if one wanted to successfully escape the invasion of the outer deities, they had to give up all the Sephiroth. Otherwise, they would definitely become the focus of their attention. Let alone wandering the cosmos, even withstanding the first wave of attacks was unknown. The goddess then slowly spoke. Apart from the items ripped from the outer deities, only taking away the uniqueness and the high sequence characteristics of the other pathways might not necessarily garner the attention of the outer deities. They wouldn't spend too much time searching. You also said that it's not necessarily the case. The outer deities should still have a certain desire for uniqueness and the high sequence characteristic of similar pathways. This can help them approach the level of a pillar, Klein replied. We can't place our hopes on their feelings. They aren't benevolent. The goddess's projection nodded. In this aspect, you're more aware than Roselle. Of course, it's because he learned of the Great Old Ones and outer deities too late. You have another choice. Use Palaz's method to personally lower your level and let Amon steal Sephira Castle. This way, you can live as a Sequence 1 angel. Well, you won't have to worry that the Lord of Mysteries will awaken. In the Church of the Evernights Bible, there was a division of angels and archangels. Klein always guessed that the latter referred to sequence 1s, and today he finally gained his confirmation. So an archangel is a sequence 1. Okay, cool. We did wonder about this a while back, because there was like a big argument in chat. People were like, no, all angels are... Or maybe I'm thinking of not archangels and I'm thinking of grounded angels? I can't remember. Of course, this was only the standard of one church, not necessarily the rest. Klein fell silent before finally asking, "Can Amon be trusted?" I can't give you a definite answer. If it was me, I would definitely choose to lower my level. I don't think so. Because I don't know if Amon can be trusted, and I definitely don't know if he would let me live. What if Amon just decides like, no, actually you give me a huge pain in the ass, I'm gonna kill you. Fuck that noise. Listen, I would rather die fighting than running away every time, okay? Fuck all that noise. Klein asked again, if the Lord of the Mysteries awakens in Amon, will he take back all the high sequencer characteristics of his pathways? I don't know. Personally, I don't exactly want to become a Great Old One, but I can't let down and betray those who have placed their bets on me. They have helped me a lot. Once Amon becomes the Lord of Mysteries, he will help the Ancient Sun God retrieve the uniqueness and the Sequence 1 characteristic from the Lord of Storm and the God of Knowledge and Wisdom, causing their deaths. Besides, Amon is a reckless god. Your humanity has been preserved well, the goddess nodded. After making up his mind, Klein freed himself from his low spirits and smiled. If I hadn't maintained my humanity, allowing the godhood to gain an advantage, I would have also made a similar choice, because my godhood instinct is to converge upon itself. Make your preparations. Meet Antigonus as soon as possible. Has Amon already used Mr. Door's ritual to accommodate the uniqueness of the apprentice pathway? If it was another existence, then definitely not. But if it's Amon, 50-50. He likes to take risks and seeks thrills. Klein didn't say another word as he watched the goddess vanish, and the dream around him collapse. The altar that he had yet to clear occupied his vision again. To him, heading to the main peak of the Hornaces mountain range to face Antigonus didn't require much preparation. He would mainly rely on Sephra Castle to create an avatar to steal the Attendant of Mysteries characteristic, the one from Zaratul, that he hadn't digested, allowing his main body to be in a unique state that could accommodate the uniqueness. As his mental state stabilized, even without Zaratul's mental imprint, Klein could still rely on his humanity, consciousness, and anchors to suppress the partial consciousness of the celestial worthy. However, before that, Klein's spiritual intuition told him he needed to do something. After looking around, he tidied the altar and dragged Dwayne Dantas out of the fog of history and wrote a letter to Mr. Azek. As it hadn't been a while since he wrote the previous letter, there wasn't much. He only mentioned the River of Eternal Darkness that was situated in Calderon City, as well as the death imprints on the banks, and emphasized the numerous Azeks he had seen. After folding the letter, Klein took out the copper whistle and blew into it. Damn, I love how Klein says like, "Oh, Mr. Azek, not much has happened. I just went and visited a Sephira no one had ever seen in thousands of years. I also saw plenty of you. I also saw your father. We had a great chat. He's kind of a piece of shit though. Yeah, good times. Nothing much has happened, you know, same. Have a good time." The skeleton messenger appeared at the size of a normal human and knelt down on a knee to take and open its palm. After this, Klein handed the letter to it along with a gold coin from Sephra Castle. "This is to thank you for all you've done. If you can't accept it, hand it to your master and let him decide." A gold coin that was transformed and tainted by the aura of Sephra Castle. He had used one of them to pay Miss Messenger, and he had lost one to Merrick when they played cards. These are gonna be something. I feel like I feel like this is like him marking the people around him or something. I'm trying to, and I'm coming up with this out of my ass, but I feel like these are gonna be people who are gonna be like valuable to the Church of the Fool when Klein goes in his slumber or whatever. Because these are gonna be his angels, right? So like he handed one to, he basically gave it to Azek because this messenger is not keeping it. He gave one to Merrick or Sharon, I guess, kind of. He gave one to Miss Messenger. They're gonna be like related to, they're gonna be like, I don't know, key figures in the Church of the Fool or something while the Fool is away. I don't know. The figure was, this messenger was stunned for nearly 5 seconds, but he didn't dare disobey Klein. He clasped the letter and the gold coin. It then disintegrated and fell to the ground. Following that, Klein took out another gold coin and put it in his pocket. At the same time, he made the Worms of Spirit on duty in Sephra Castle look at a certain crimson star. East Balam, in a cathedral belonging to the goddess, as the first batch of demigods participating in the besieging of the Rose School of Thought, Leonard had already used an artifact to reach the southern continent. Excuse me? However, he had no progress for the time being. This is because the Rose School of Thought demigods seemed to sense the danger in the air as they hid. This made Leonard have no choice but to wait patiently. While he had nothing to do, he wore his red gloves and entered a cathedral to pray. In a dark and serene environment, he fell asleep. After an unknown period of time, he opened his eyes and stood up. He walked down the aisle to the door. At that moment, he saw a familiar figure, Klein Moretti, wearing a top hat, a formal suit. Leonard's pupils dilated as his brows pricked up. Klein, who was also praying, lowered his hands and stood up and walked past him, approaching the altar. Neither of them spoke, as if they were just strangers. After reaching the donation box, Klein took out a gold coin and threw it in the donation box. Then he changed directions and left the cathedral. Leonard stood in the middle of the aisle, watching the scene with a puzzled look. In his mind, Pallas spoke. Find a chance to get that coin. Steal, steal, steal from the church, yeah! Backland, in a particular house, Will Ossepton held a So wait. 1 to Miss Messenger, 1 to Azek, 1 here, 1 to Sharon. He's gonna give 1 to Will. Okay, makes sense. Will Ossepton held a silver spoon and focused on digging at the pale green ice cream in front of him. Suddenly, he extended his left hand to block the side of the food. On the chair beside him, Dwayne suddenly appeared. True, Silovq. True. Will Ossepton held a silver spoon and... oh wait, what? You made me lose my spot. Fuck you. Wait, hold on. On the chair beside him, Dwayne suddenly appeared. I assume that puts Silovq first in ranking? And yep, of course. As he spoke, he took out a gold coin and pushed it to Will. This is a gold coin for you. Will was stunned for 2 seconds before muttering, "The gift celebrating my birth was a lucky amulet. For my birthday gift, it's a gold coin. You truly have no creativity at all, do you?" Klein, as he spoke, he reached out with his chubby hands to grab the gold coin. Klein smiled, stood up, and vanished. And he lost quite handily, Zaza, by like 250, I think. I think I would need to keep stream going for another 5 hours. Ah, 4, I guess, for you to get ahead. Okay. I think we'll end stream there, and then we'll do And then I'll go to Discord, and then we can, or actually no, let's read chapter 1 on stream, and then we can do the actual episode on Discord, because I just want to be able to watch it normally without having to have the fucking thing. Oh, artwork, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do artwork first, and then we'll do chapter 1, and then I'll on stream, and then we can. If any of you want to watch it with me, feel free to pop into the Discord. What the fuck is going on here? Excuse me? Sorry, I had back day yesterday and my fucking lat is like spasming. What the fuck? That's a new feeling. Go to memes? Okay, sounds good. Alright, good night, Zazam. Yeah, Dr. Z, we can do that. We'll do like just like a chill stream tomorrow, and then we can do ending of Lord of the Mysteries next weekend. Audrey and Gehrman. I really don't like them as a couple. I feel like Audrey's like a little baby, but all the same, like these are very nice artwork. Yeah, we can maybe do the quiz, maybe play a game or something. I don't know, like we'll figure something out. Ignatus, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Holy fuck. Thank you so much. Kleenex money. Yeah. I don't have any theories at this point, Nightwalker. Like, we're at the end. Who is closest to money beside Audrey? That's a good... Damn, Salinger looks goated. Goated. Excuse me? How much physical money Evernight personally has? A lot, bro. A lot. Damn, this looks... Punk Theory. Yes, money. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Unk Theory, for example, why Miss Messenger asked for a gold coin? Because she likes money, bro. What a silly question. She looks like a literal child. This is so cute. He's like, Commander, everything's on fucking fire. The commander's a fucking 9-year-old. She's like, let me get to it. She stands up. She's exactly the same height. This is so cute. This is so well done, by the way. What the fuck? Looks like who now? Like, look at this. She's not even like shoulder height. This is so good. What the fuck did Pushkar make? I'm assuming there's some audio here. Oh, yeah, because I'm on. That's why.
D-E-S-S-E-R-T. Yeah, dude, I need me a T-R-E-A-T.
What you guys talking about? Yeah, why did you guys just spell the...
No, shut up, don't say it.
What?
Why?
Wouldn't it be Leonard who's an idiot who can't spell? Or would it be Klein?
What? Can't spell, so when we talk about something he wants, we spell it out loud so he doesn't get too excited.
He's a grown man. He can't handle hearing the word treat.
Treat?
No treat. Treat? No treat. Treat? No treat.
Oh.
Okay, what's happening? We told you he gets excited when he hears the word T.
Wouldn't Leonard be the idiot though?
Taxes. Oh, shucks. What, so you guys just treat him like a toddler?
Treat? No treat. Treat? No treat. Treat? No treat.
Aww.
You gotta spell if you're talking about F-O-O-D.
Okay, so are we getting an S-N-A-C-K?
Snack? Oh, come on.
man.
Really?
No, even dyslexic people can spell like 5-letter words, Dr. Z. Now, like occasionally, like, okay. But like, come on. Okay, let's go to... Oh, Jesus Christ, get this off my fucking screen. We're done. Fuck you for that, Pushkar. And Dunn says taxes. He was distraught, I will say. The first time he had to pay taxes on like capital gains and stuff, he was literally distraught. Okay, just because we're reading chapter 1, we'll do this the old school way, okay? Just as deja vu, okay? Way back in the day. Technically, I never read this on stream anyway, so this would be nice. You have seen me misspell 5-letter words? True. But not all the time. You don't do it all the time. Nightwalker, what did you say? My theory is she sensed, like Amon with the City of Silver, that in the future the person will give him a gold coin, so that's why she asked for gold. Oh, I see. Okay. Painful. How painful. My head hurts so much. A gaudy and dazzling dreamwork filled with murmurs instantly shattered. The sound asleep, Zhou Mingrui felt an abnormal throbbing pain in his head, as though someone had ruthlessly lashed him with a pole again and again. No, it was more like a sharp object pierced through his temples, followed by a twist. In a stupor, Zhou attempted to turn around, look up, and sit up, but he felt he was completely unable to move his limbs, as though he had lost control of them. From the looks of it, I'm still not awake. I'm in a dream? Who knows? Perhaps the next scene will be me thinking I'm already awake, but in fact I'm actually sleeping. So he is sleeping, but he's awake because he is like blessed by the goddess, so he can stay awake in dreams. Okay. Zhou, who was not familiar with similar encounters, tried his best to focus in order to escape the shackles placed on him by the darkness and confusion. However, while still in his reverie, whatever will he could summon was ethereal and like a fleeting fog. He found his thoughts difficult to control and introspect. No matter how much he tried, he lost his focus, and random thoughts surfaced in his mind. Why would I have a sudden, excruciating headache in the middle of the night, and it's so painful? Could it be a cerebral hemorrhage? Fuck, don't tell me I'm gonna die young. You're gonna die 4 times young. I need to wake up, now. Why doesn't it seem to hurt as much as before? Why does it seem like a blunt knife is slicing through my brain? From the looks of it, sleep is impossible. How am I gonna go to work tomorrow? Ugh. Why am I thinking about work? This is some authentic headache. Of course, I have to take some time off. I don't have to worry about my manager. Hey, putting it that way doesn't seem too bad. I can get some spare time. Throbbing pain inundated Zhou Mingrui, allowing him to slowly accumulate immaterial strength like he was finally able to move his back and open his eyes. He finally broke free from his reverie. His vision blurred before it was screened by the faint red crimson. All he could see was a study desk made of burly wood in front of him. Right in the middle was an open textbook with a coarse yellow page. The title was eye-catching, written with strange deep black lettering. To the left of the notebook was a stack of neatly arranged books, numbering about 8. The wall on the right was inset with greyish-white pipes with wall lamps connected. The lamp was had a classical Western style to it. It was about half the size of an adult's head, with an inner layer of transparent glass and an exterior griddled with black metal. Diagonally beneath the lamp was a black ink bottle shrouded in pale red glow. Its embossed surface formed a blurry angel pattern. In front of the ink bottle and to the right of the notebook sat a dark red pen with a fully circular body. Its tip shimmered with a faint glint as its cap rested beside the brass revolver. A gun? A revolver? Joe was taken aback. The things laid before him were alien to him, nothing like his room. While feeling shocked and confused, he discovered that the desk, notebook, ink bottle, and revolver were covered in a layer of crimson veil, a result of the light shining from the window. Veil. Oh. Cute. Subconsciously, he looked up and shifted his gaze. In midair, a crimson moon hung high above with the backdrop of a black velvet curtain glowing in silence. That's the curtain that was supposed to descend on him, but the goddess threw it into the Forsaken Land of the Gods, right? Joe felt inexplicable horror as he stood up, but before his feet straightened, his brain protested in throbbing pain, making him lose his strength as he fell, his ass slamming onto the wooden chair. The pain did little. Joe stood up again, propping himself up. He turned around in a fluster as he began to size up his environment. The room was not very large, with a brown door on each side of the room. Close to the opposite wall was a low wooden bed. Between the bed and the left drawer was a cabinet. Its 2 doors were swung open, and beneath it were 5 drawers. To the side of the cabinet there was a strange grayish-white pipe on the wall at the height of a person. However, it was connected to a strange mechanical device with exposed gears and bearings. Grayish-white? Across the right door was a dressing mirror with 2 cracks. Its bottom, made of wood and patterns, were simple and plain. Bye, MT! See ya, buddy! Thanks for popping by! With a sweep of his gaze, Joe noticed himself in the mirror, the present him. Black hair, brown eyes, a linen shirt. This? Many thoughts went through his mind. This revolver, an ancient European style, and a crimson moon that looked different from the Earth's moon could mean only one thing. Did I transmigrate? He'd grown up reading web novels and often fantasized about such things, but he found it hard to accept. This is probably what it meant to love a fantasy? In a minute, Joe had already cursed himself while trying to make the best out of his situation. If not for the still throbbing headache that made his thoughts high-strung but clear, he would have suspected he was dreaming. Calm down. Calm down. At that moment, his body and mind calmed down as memories began flooding in. Klein Moretti, a citizen of the Northern Continent, Lone Kingdom, Awa County, City of Tingen. A recent graduate from the History Department of Koi University. His father was a sergeant of the Royal Army who had sacrificed himself in a colonial conflict with the Southern Continent. Bye, Dr. Z. Thanks for popping by. The bereavement allowance gave Klein the opportunity to study at a private school and laid the foundation of him going to university. His mother was a devotee of the goddess. She passed away the year Klein passed the entrance to the university. He also had an elder brother and a younger sister, and they stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment. Their family was not wealthy, and its situation could be described as wanting. At present, the family was supported solely by the older brother, working at an import-export company as a clerk. What would be funny, Slavkia? As a history graduate, Klein grasped knowledge of the ancient Fasak language, deemed the origin of languages in the Northern Continent. Can we just stick to donos? No chance, please? Listen, I made that promise when I was a younger, dumber man, okay? I have a job now. I can't get fired, please. Just give me any chance we can just let that one go? I don't know. Any chance we can let that one promise go? No? Please? please. I have a job. I can't get fired. Like, technically, funny enough, I'm supposed to, it's fine, fuck it, it's fine. Like, even me doing this is technically like a conflict of interest, because like, as a exposed party, as a licensed individual and shit, ugh. Hermes. Zhou Mingrui's mind stirred as he reached out to rub his temples. He cast his gaze towards the table in the open textbook. He noticed the text on the page turned from alien before turning from alien to something familiar, something readable. Text in Hermes. Everyone will die, including me. Zhou felt inexplicable horror. He instinctively leaned back in an attempt to widen the distance between him and the notebook, as well as the text on it. Being very weak, he nearly fell down, but managed to extend his hand in a fluster to hold onto the edge of the table. He felt that the surrounding air was turbulent, as though there was faint murmurs resounding within. The feeling was akin to hearing horror stories being recounted by elders when he was young. He shook his head, believing that everything was an illusion. Zhou had found his balance and shifted his gaze from the notebook as he heaved for breath. And this time he looked at the revolver. With Klein's family in question, how would they have the money to buy such a revolver? While deep in thought, he suddenly discovered a red handprint to the side of the table. Its color was deeper than moonlight and much thicker than the veil, a bloody handprint. How far we have come, Pushkar. Truer words. You're safe for now? Thank you. Seriously, like, any chance we can just let that one go? Any chance? I didn't think we'd be here, bro. 100 members is like an impossible number. It was like unfucking conceivable. It was infucking conceivable. And now it's like, fuck, what the fuck was I thinking? What an idiot. Oh my god. At the same time, the throbbing pain in his head continued. Did I smash my head open? Zhou guessed as he turned around and walked to the mirror. A black-haired figure of medium height and brown eyes outlined itself in the mirror. Is this the present me? Klein Moretti? Zhou Mingrui was stunned. Since there was insufficient lightning at night, he failed to see something clearly. He continued forward until he was a step short of colliding with the mirror. Using the crimson veil, like moonlight as illusion, he turned his head and examined the corner of his forehead. A clear reflection standing in the mirror, his temples had a grotesque wound with burn marks along with its periphery. The blood stained the wound's surroundings, and there was grayish-white juices squirming within. I wonder to make word for. By the way, who is on? I tried looking him up, but I can't find anyone else reading Lord of the Mysteries. Who is this guy? What's his thing? Does he do them live? Stream reading all the Tarot Club. I just know if there's a lady reading it? What the fuck is... How many... What the fuck? He do live but remove them and upload it as okay, so it is the same guy. Okay, it is the guy. Okay, I see it. Okay. No problem. Alright guys, in that case we'll end stream there. I will watch episode 1 in like a little bit. I'm gonna go get something to eat and then I'll watch it on Discord. If you guys are free, pop in. Thank you so much everyone for coming. Have a great rest of your day or night. Hopefully I'll see you in the Discord. If not, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, that's it. Bye guys.